My old lady is almost here, but hello.
Hello,
What's up, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm all right.
Cool, man. You vegan or non-vegan?
I'm a non-vegan, but
All right, sweet.
I can justify eating meat because my mother made it, and I don't disrespect things my mother's making.
Yeah. So if your mom made you like slit the throat of a human and made you like human flesh, would you eat that?
If I need to, I don't want to disrespect her.
Well, yeah, but you don't need to eat animal products, right? So let me give you like a situation like obviously, so you know how we currently farm animals, like we currently farm them, raise them, slit their throats, gas them alive, and kill them for food. Correct?
Yeah, I know.
I'm assuming you're okay with that because you're not vegan.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. Now, if we were doing the exact same thing and we just replace animals with humans, so we were farming humans and slitting their throat and then gassing them alive, would you be okay with that?
But I won't eat humans. Only
But
if my mom made it.
so you wouldn't be okay. Would you have moral disgust at that? Would you say that was morally wrong to be doing that to humans?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So I just gave you two situations. One, we're farming and slitting the throats of animals to turn them into cheeseburgers. The other, we're doing the exact same to humans. So the only difference is that instead of doing it to animals, we're doing it to humans. That means there's a morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting the animals' throats and turning them into cheeseburgers, but not doing so to humans. So what is that difference?
If I'm eating a cheeseburger and it's made out of human and I don't know it, I would enjoy it as well.
Oh, okay, so let's just say you would enjoy it as well. Now, would it be morally justified now to slit humans' throats to turn them into cheeseburgers?
Uh, Depends.
Well, it either would be or it wouldn't be. You said the reason it's justified to slit animals' throats and turn them into cheeseburgers, but not humans, is that you enjoy it more. So if you enjoyed it more with humans, would it now be justified to slit humans' throats and turn them into cheeseburgers?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, so that's a contradiction. That's P and not P. That's a formal contradiction, meaning the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting animals' throats but not humans is and is not that you enjoy it more. So that's just a straight up contradiction.
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't eat human. But if my mother made it, I wouldn't disrespect her, and I would still eat it.
So if your mom killed a human and cooked them for you, you would eat it.
I would.
Yeah, okay. So we just fundamentally disagree. If I can't talk you into human rights, there's no way I can talk you into animal rights. But yeah, I would say I would think about that since you can't justify eating animals without like a contradiction. I would think about that, buddy. But I'm gonna get on to the next guest since we just have a
All right.
fundamental disagreement there. Am I
Sure.
trans? No, I'm not. Take care, buddy. Um, God damn, I forgot how to do this.
How
This
do I
took me a
leave?
fucking minute. Um, Peter, bum bum bum. Uh, Sorry guys, I haven't done this in a minute.
I have no clue how to leave.
I'm trying to. There we go. Cool. So yeah, I just see no morally relevant difference between humans and animals that would justify slitting animals' throats and turning them into cheeseburgers, but not humans, right? That's not to say animals and humans are the same. Like, I definitely think humans are more important. I just think animals are sufficiently important to not have their throats slit and be turned into a cheeseburger. So, like in the same way that a $10 bill and a $5 bill are both sufficient to buy something worth $1, but the $10 bill is still worth more. So, I absolutely think humans are more important than animals. However, I think both are sufficiently important to not have their throat slit to be turned into a cheeseburger. So, we'll see. Next, Will Ripple. I'll accept this. Like I said, guys, my old lady's on her way home, so I might have to go at any point. But
So
Will,
your argument is that
so yeah,
you want to be
I'll just go over my argument real quick. So I'm guessing. So you're not vegan, I'm assuming.
no.
Okay, so you think it's
Actually, I'm
justified
about to
to
take my girl out to hibachi later.
cool, cool. So you think it's justified to farm animals, slit their throats, and put them in gas chambers to turn them into cheeseburgers, correct?
I like cheeseburgers, so yes. But let me
Okay,
ask you
cool.
something.
So no,
So
no. Well,
what
you're
is the
not going to
difference
interrupt my
between?
line of questioning. I'm on a line of questioning. So if you're to do the exact
Oh,
same
I
thing to
didn't.
humans, would you find that morally justified? Yes or no? If you're farming humans, slitting their throats, and turning them into cheeseburgers, would you find that morally justified?
I feel like that's extremely weird to even think like that. They're humans. They're the same as us. They're not
So
practically
it wouldn't be
just
morally justified, correct?
yes.
Cool, I agree.
But there's a
So I
huge
gave you two
difference between a
situations
cow.
where it's the exact same situation, except the only difference is in one scenario it's animals, and in the other scenario it's humans. So that means there's a morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting animals' throats and turning them into cheeseburgers, but not humans. What is that difference? Well, name the trait. Is it because we're more intelligent? Is it because
Because we have opposable thumbs.
Opposable thumbs? Okay.
Thumbs.
So if humans didn't have
Thumbs.
opposable thumbs, would it now be justified to slit their throats and turn them into cheeseburgers? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I had somebody in my ear yelling at me.
Yeah, you're good. You said the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting animals' throats for cheeseburgers, but not humans, is that humans have opposable thumbs. So if humans didn't have opposable thumbs, would it now be okay to slit humans' throats and turn them into cheeseburgers?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay, so that's a contradiction. That's a formal contradiction, P and not P, meaning the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting animals' throats and turning them into cheeseburgers, but not humans, is and is not having opposable thumbs. So that's just straight up contradictory. It's an incoherent position.
But humans are made to create and build and make a society, whereas animals are only made and bred to be able to be food.
Cool. So
that doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to cut up a human?
So
think about it this way.
I'm vegan. I wouldn't want to do either. I'm seeing if you can hold morally consistent. So now your new reasoning is that we breed them for food. So if we are breeding humans for the sole purpose of food, would it now be morally justified to slit humans' throats and turn them into cheeseburgers?
Dude, there's places in the world
That's not
where
answering my question. I asked you a yes or no question. If we were breeding humans,
if it would be justified to kill a human to make a cheeseburger.
If we were breeding them for that purpose, would it be justified? Yes or no?
No, they're
okay,
humans.
So that's a contradiction. That's a straightforward, formal contradiction. P and not P. The morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not that we're breeding them for that purpose. So you can't hold a coherent position against veganism. You just keep contradicting yourself. Would you like to move on to give a different?
Okay, so let me ask you: do you know how many?
Well, we're not going to move on.
Do you know how many rodents?
Until you concede that you don't have a coherent position against veganism. Do you concede that your position is contradictory and not incoherent?
Dude, you're trying to justify cannibalism over eating a fucking cow, dude.
I'm against both. I'm against killing humans for food and animals for food. You're for killing animals for food. So I'm just doing a simple logical consistency test to see if you can remain logically consistent. And so far, you've failed. You've failed every time.
Animals for food, not humans. We don't gotta kill humans for food when we have animals to kill.
Yeah, well, we don't have to kill animals for food either, right? We can just eat plants. So that's not a symmetry breaker as well. So do you want to change your trait, or do you just accept that you have a contradiction?
But you still got to kill the plant to be able to eat it.
What's that?
Once you break off a head of lettuce, it's no longer growing still. Once you take off the stem of a watermelon, it's no longer growing still. Once you pop an apple off, it's no longer growing still, which means you're tearing it off and you're killing it.
Yep, plants are alive.
That's exactly why fruits and vegetables rot.
Yeah. So you want me to respond, or do you want to just keep being triggered? So plants are not sentient.
Well,
they don't have a brain or a central nervous system. So that means they don't have feelings. They don't have thoughts. They don't have the will to live. They don't experience suffering. They don't experience well-being because they don't have a brain or a central nervous system. So of course I don't care. However, animals do have.
What about the billions of organisms that
animals
live on?
do experience all these things. So I'm just asking you what your justification is for slitting their throats and turning them into cheeseburgers when you wouldn't do the same to humans. I'm asking you the morally relevant difference between the two, and thus far, you haven't been able to come up with a position that doesn't end up in a contradictory statement. What is it?
Because one's cannibalism and the other one is survival for food.
Okay, well, it's not survival because we.
I guess if push came to shove, yeah, you can cook up a human, but that's kind of awkward.
Well, what about no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking if you can. I'm asking if it's morally wrong to slit a human's throat and turn them into a cheeseburger like we do to animals. Yes or no? It's a simple yes or no question.
No, yeah, you're right. That makes perfect sense, honestly. But what about the billions of organisms?
I didn't make any claim. I'm asking you a question, right?
Can you let me talk, man?
Well, you didn't answer my question. Is it morally justified to slit animals?
I just told you were fucking right, bro. What else do you want me to tell you?
Oh, I am right? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, we'll go on to the next one.
You fucking fat bitch. Oh, you can't even kick me.
This is what happens when people try to argue against veganism. They get triggered because they can't come up with a logically coherent position. It's pretty typical. Yeah. So let's see. We'll go hunting Appalachia. Should be. I'm sure this guy will fucking hate me, but it's okay. I'll try to be civil.
Hey,
what's up,
man,
buddy?
how's it going?
Good. How about yourself, boss?
Buddy, I can't complain one bit. So I love
Cool.
talking
Good.
about hunting. I talk about hunting all the time.
Sweet.
Because
I used to be a hunter, as a matter of fact. I have deer
I've
antlers
heard.
right on my arms, buddy. My name's Hunter, as you can see.
So when it comes to hunting, here's my question to you.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
As a hunter, you know about the North American model of wildlife conservation, correct?
No, I don't. You'd have to explain it to me.
All right, so the North American model of wildlife conservation is based on what is called the dynamics of predation. So basically, what that is, it looks like corresponding wavelength graphs that track predator and prey populations as they peak and fall. Now, because of human expansion across the North American continent, we have taken a lot of native habitat from our native species. And because of this, we have driven a lot of apex predators out of the environment. Now, this, mixed with the spread of disease, invasive species, and also human interaction, not through hunting, but through car accidents, through human expansion.
Yeah, basically, you're saying overpopulation, right?
No, opposite actually. We're seeing an underpopulation of our apex predators because they no longer.
Oh no, sorry. I meant overpopulation of like deer, like non-predators.
So what we're seeing now is we're seeing deer populations that will rise to extreme levels, and predator populations that will try to rise to combat that, but they can't. Now, because of this, we have our hunting seasons in North America. From a conservation standpoint, what hunting does is it flattens the dynamics of predation. Because currently, with the dynamics of predation and how that works, if we experienced a lull in population without the intervention of human predation in our environment, then a disease like chronic wasting disease, like blue tongue, like tularemia, could come through that population and cause a mass level extinction event. So what I ask as a hunter is, we have studies that show contraceptives don't work because it is not cost effective, and also because contraceptives will take out a whole generation of deer. There's a company in Canada called Spayvac, and Spayvac is the head honcho with wildlife contraceptives currently. And the only effective contraceptive they have lasts 3 years, and this will take out the entire breeding cycle of a deer, therefore limiting genetic diversity and helping disease to spread. So how will we manage the environment without hunting?
Yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. You're saying in virtue of overpopulation, like deer hunting is justified, basically. So I just got a question.
Deer hunting, all hunting.
Sure. Well, we'll just use deer hunting as an example because it'll make it easier to track. If you're fine with that.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. So deer hunting is justified in virtue of overpopulation, you're saying. So what about overpopulation of humans? Humans are much more overpopulated, much more devastating to the environment, much more disease spreading. Is it justified to hunt humans due to overpopulation?
No, and for this reason.
Okay, cool.
Because human beings are the only species in the world that can effectively self-regulate. Now, because we've been bad at it before, through market hunting, through overexpansion, does not mean that we're incapable of it. Because of self-regulation, we are able to look at the environment from an outside lens and see the negatives and positives of the environment. So deer populations, you can't tell deer, hey, there's too many of you, quit breeding. We can't do that. But from a human perspective, because it would harm the environment, what we can do is look at that deer population, determine how many individuals need to be taken out.
I understand your answer. I understand your answer. Now I'm going to apply it to see if you remain logically consistent. So you say it's wrong to hunt humans in virtue of overpopulation, but it's okay to hunt deer in virtue of overpopulation because of self-regulation. So if we found a population of humans that are poor at self-regulating, which we can find plenty, poor third world countries are terrible at self-regulating. They're overpopulating like crazy. Is it now morally justified to hunt humans?
No, because
so real quick, I have to stop. No, so that's a contradiction. That means the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies hunting them in virtue of overpopulation is and is not because they can self-regulate. So that's just straightforwardly a formal contradiction, P and not P.
Okay, so here's my my argument to that is that when it comes to self-regulation of humans.
Well, you just have to change your position because you can't argue out of a contradiction. A contradiction is contradiction. You have to change your view. Like there's no way a contradiction is incoherent. That'd be like saying there's a square circle.
Listen to me. Here's the thing. What's up, buddy? I've talked about hunting all the time. I work for Fish and Wildlife. Yeah. And when it comes to hunting and when it comes to conservation, we agree currently there is no species other than humans that can self-regulate. Do you disagree with that?
I think I think humans are capable of self-regulating, but I think we can find species that are, or sorry, I think we can find humans that aren't self-regulating, that are very poor at
Okay, but
self-regulating, such as third
humans
world
as a
countries.
whole,
And so when I
humans as a
asked you if it would be okay to hunt those humans that can't self-regulate, would it be morally justified? You said no, and that ends up in a contradiction. The
Okay,
morally
but Toby,
relevant
here's what
difference
you're
is
missing.
and is not self-regulation. That's just a P and not P
Here's
contradiction.
what you're missing, Toby, and this is important. Here's what you're
What's up,
missing:
buddy?
is humans as a population widespread can self-regulate. Deer as a population widespread cannot. If we have a population of humans in a third world country that are bad at self-regulating, that can still not affect the environment in a negative way. If you look at so Toby, if you look at populations, let's
Sure.
say,
So well, you just gave a new
tribes-
thing. So if humans as a whole couldn't self-regulate, would it be justified to hunt humans?
No.
Okay, so that's another
I'm sorry,
contradiction.
no, I'm sorry,
well,
I'm sorry.
I have to explain. I have to explain how
I'm
that's
sorry,
a
Toby.
contradiction.
I
You
meant
said the
yes.
morally
Because
relevant
if
difference
humans could not
between. Well,
self-regulate-
you can keep talking,
Toby.
but you can keep talking, but you just
Well, Toby,
contradicted
no,
yourself.
here's the thing.
You said the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies hunting them is and is not being able to self-regulate as a whole. That's just P and not P. That's straightforward, a formal contradiction. So that's incoherent. Do you understand what a contradiction is? It's when you hold two contradictory beliefs. It's denying the premise and its antecedent. It's P and not P. And you are saying hunting is justified in virtue of self-regulating, and hunting is not justified in virtue of self-regulating. That is just that's just straightforward a contradiction.
All right, Toby. Here's what I'll say. I've got one more thing I want to ask you about.
All right, what's up, boss? By the way, I'm just going to say, I know these conversations are hard, and I really appreciate you being respectful. Oh, fuck.
Of course. That's all I ever want to do is be respectful.
Dude, I just fucked this up. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm listening still. Okay.
You're fine. So here's what I'll ask. So we talk about humans and self-regulation.
Yep.
There are instances when we're bad at it. My favorite instance to bring up is invasive species, correct? So I talk to a lot of people about invasive species. One of the biggest ones I talk about is feral cats. Now here in the United States, there are 85 million feral cats worldwide.
Oh, I'm just going to agree with you on this. I already know where you're going. I agree that's a terrible thing.
I'm a hard advocate for like a mass cull of feral cats because I value the life of species.
I'm going to piss a lot of vegans off here, and I don't care. I completely agree with you. They're an absolute devastation to the environment, and by killing one cat, you probably save 100 animals from being tortured alive.
You're 100% right, and I'm happy. The amount of vegans, Toby, that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, which is more than one would think, because I do hunting TikToks, I talk about conservation laws, and a lot of people come in, and one of the things I talk about is feral cat management, because we have science to back up that we're not doing enough. And as a hunter and you as a vegan, I think a common thing that we value is native wildlife over invasive species, even if that invasive species happens to be domesticated.
I would disagree. I just value sentient life, and I think whatever maximizes the least amount of rights violations against innocent sentient beings. That's my moral system. But that's one thing we do have common ground on. So is that all you got to say? I'm probably gonna move on to the next person if that's cool.
Well, Toby, I appreciate you having me on. Right, if you ever want to stop by my stream, it's hunting TikTok. And my account's hunting Appalachia. So Toby, I'd love to have you on.
Hey, I really appreciate you being respectful, man. I hope you have a good day. Okay.
Of course. Have a good one, Toby.
Yep. Peace. All right. Cool. So that guy didn't hate me as I thought. That's why you never guess. God, I don't know how to make people believe I'm an idiot. Okay, Aura, you're next. Let's see what justifications you got for farming and slitting animals' throats when you could eat plants instead. Aura, how's it going?
Hi, Hunter. How are you?
Hey, good. How about yourself?
Doing good.
Cool. Are you a vegan or a non-vegan?
I am vegan. I've been vegan for 6 years as of August.
Okay, cool. I swear I'm not trying to be a D-bag. I'm just doing this just to argue with people. So if you have one thing you want to say, just say it, and then I'm just going to move on to the next person just to argue with non-vegans, okay?
I wasn't sure. I had just joined this live. I wasn't sure if this was satire or not, or if your name is Hunter.
No, my name really is Hunter. My buddies call me Gatherer.
Okay.
I come from a huge hunting family. They hunt a deer.
I don't want to take
life.
up too much of your time, so yeah, I just want to come in and say thanks for hosting a live like this.
Hey, Aura, I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. Okay.
You too.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the next guest on. Yeah, I'm just doing people who disagree with me. Brandon, I am gonna have you on because you're my homie. But just wait a second. Adrian. Let's see.
Yo, what's up,
Adrian,
man?
how's it going? You all right?
Yeah, bro. How are you?
Cool. I'm good, dude. I'm good. Just chilling.
So, do you feel like meat's immoral to eat?
I don't think the act of eating meat is immoral. Like, if you were to find roadkill or lab-grown meat, I think that's perfectly fine. I think farming animals and slitting their throats and gassing them alive to obtain the meat is immoral, if that makes sense.
Got it. So it's more just like the type of farming that you feel like is bad?
No, not even, because if you could point out the most ethical farm like imaginable, like free range, like all this local, all this stuff, I would still find the act of slitting the animal's throat to turn them into a cheeseburger as immoral.
Why is that?
Yeah, just because I see no morally relevant difference between humans and animals that would justify doing it to animals, but not humans. So like, I'll ask you like a series of questions, and a lot of people think I'm being a d-bag when I do this. So please don't think that. I'm really trying to be as respectful as I can. So in the case of like,
I'm cool to have like a
okay, cool,
respectful conversation.
Awesome. So like in the case of like animals, like local, free range, like happy animals, if we were to kill them and turn them into a cheeseburger, like obviously you think that that's fine, right? Because you're like not vegan, I assume.
No, I'm not vegan. No.
But you think that's like okay, to, like a moral, like an ethical thing to do, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually beneficial for a human to be eating meat.
Cool.
Because the benefits, I think, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so now if we were to do the exact same thing but to humans, we were farming humans and then slitting their throats to turn them into cheeseburgers. I'm assuming you would find that wrong, correct?
Yeah, pretty wrong.
Cool. So if we had so I gave you two situations, and they're the exact same situation, except in one instance we have an animal, and in the other instance we have humans. In the case of the animal, you said it was fine to slit their throat and turn them into cheeseburgers, but in the case of a human, you said it was wrong to slit their throat and to turn them into cheeseburgers. So my question to you is simply this: what is the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies slitting an animal's throat and turning them into food, but not humans? What is the trait? Like, is it because humans are smarter? Like, why is it wrong to do it to animals, but okay to do it to humans? What is the morally relevant difference between an animal and a human that justifies it in one case, but not the other?
Yeah, because while at the same time, like humans are obviously responsible for a lot of our problems, of course, probably all of them, they're also the driving force which drives all the positive change that we want. And the only way we can obviously do that is for a human to be as healthy as possible, right?
Yeah.
And
so let's say
the nutrients that are provided by meat. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I think you broke. Yeah. So well, one, we can be perfectly healthy off a vegan diet, right? We have the largest group of nutrition experts in the entire world, the American Dietetics Association, which states a vegan diet is perfectly healthy at all stages of life. We have the vegetarian cohort, which shows vegans have the lowest risk of lowest risk of all-cause mortality, and we have the Adventist Health Study 2, which shows vegans have the lowest risk of chronic disease. So all the scientific evidence points to vegans being able to live a perfectly happy, healthy life, along with the largest group of nutrition experts in the entire world. So, but you said the reason it's okay to slit animals' throats and not humans is because humans, what did you say it was? I forget what you said. They
we can sum it up. We can sum it up to essentially saying that humans are more important, and they're the ones that are driving the change that we want to see in this world.
Yeah, cool. So if we could find humans that weren't driving change that you want to see in this world, would it now be okay to slit their throat and turn them into a cheeseburger?
No, because we're obviously
at a different level. So that's just a contradiction. So that's P and not P, a formal contradiction. The morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not being a driving force to positive change.
Are animals capable of driving change that we need to see in society?
No, I don't think so. But I just gave you an instance of humans. I asked you if humans weren't capable of doing that, would it now be okay to slit their throat and turn them into cheeseburgers? Like, we can find plenty of instances of humans not being able to drive a force to positive change. But you said it's not okay to slit their throat. So that's just a straightforward contradiction. P and not P. The morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not being a driving force towards positive change.
You're creating a hypothetical situation. You're creating a hypothetical situation in which we wouldn't even be able to have this conversation.
Well, no, we were having this conversation right now, and I'm asking you the morally relevant. It's a consistency check, right? It's a consistency check. You're saying in one case it's okay to slit animals' throats and turn them into cheeseburgers, but in the human case it's not okay to do that exact same thing. So I'm asking you the morally relevant difference between humans and animals that justifies it to see if you can remain logically consistent. Your answer was being a driving force towards change. So when I gave you an instance of humans not being a driving force towards positive change, you said it would still be wrong to slit their throats and turn them into cheeseburgers, which that's a formal contradiction. P and not P. The morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not being a positive force of change. So that's just an incoherent position. That's like saying there's a square circle.
No, yeah, I think I misheard you initially. I didn't realize that you said if humans were not capable of the change. I would say that. Yeah, I don't think that's not a scenario that is obviously the truth scenario, so it's a kind of irrelevant statement to make.
Well,
I think
I'm
there's
just
still not a
testing your
contradiction.
consistency. Would it be okay to slit humans?
Reality in the reality, the objective reality, we do
Well, I'm
have
just
higher
asking
levels
within the
of
context of the hypothetical. If I could find humans that weren't a driving force towards positive change,
we can
would
argue
it?
hypotheticals all day. Okay, so let's talk about some more truth. Can we talk
Well,
about
I
some
just
more
want an
truth?
answer to the question. Would it be okay to slit their throats or not?
No,
Okay, so
but
that's a
not
contradiction. That's a formal contradiction. P and not P. The morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not being a driving force towards positive change.
do plants experience pain when we kill them?
So, well, before we move on to the no, they don't because they're not sentient. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system. But
Did you
before
see the
we
more
move on to
recent
the next
study
point, do
that
you
contradicts
concede
that
that you
point?
don't have a logically coherent position against veganism?
I think I do because I'm trying to point out the fact that we are
Well, you
wired
don't. I just
differently.
pointed out the contradiction, P and not P. You said the thing that makes it okay to slit animals' throats but not humans was being a driving force towards positive change. When I introduced a hypothetical of humans not being a driving force towards positive change, you still said it would be wrong to slit their throat, meaning the morally relevant difference between humans and animals is and is not being a driving force towards positive change. So that's just straightforward a contradiction. So you're either going to have to amend your position or just accept that it's contradictory.
There's probably going to be some contradictions if you're throwing hypotheticals around, so sure.
Okay, so it's contradictory. So yeah, if you're willing to just accept a contradictory, incoherent position, then there's nothing I can do. That's like saying square circles, right? You cannot say anything is or is not wrong if you're just willing to accept contradictions. Like you can't say murder is wrong because you accept contradictions. Murder is and is not wrong. Like if you're just gonna deny the laws of logic, there's nowhere else I can go if you're just gonna accept contradictions. But I appreciate you admitting that your position against veganism is incoherent, and I'm gonna go on to the next guess. So yeah, as you can see, nobody can hold a logically consistent position against veganism. I'm gonna accept my buddy on, Brandon. I hope you're still there, bud. And then get a Carnist on here too, because I know my homie is a fellow vegan. So got two loading in. Yeah, I just think it's crazy that people like, they love dogs, they love cats, they would do anything for their dogs and cats. Some people love their dogs more than their own family members, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, when it's a pig or a cow or a chicken, now it's okay just to slit their throat for taste pleasure. It makes no sense to me. Sorry, what's your name? Demon, what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
You
Got
all
a
right,
couple
man?
questions for you.
What's up,
I was
big
hearing
dog?
your previous little conversation there, and I was just curious.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's your religious stance?
I don't have one. I'm atheist, or I'm an
Atheist?
agnostic atheist to be more specific. Hey, real quick, it said I have low Wi-Fi connection. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, cool.
So let me say this: you say it is murder if you kill an animal.
I think it's unjustified. There's certain situations where you could justifiably kill animals. Like, say if an animal is attacking you, trying to kill you, it would be absolutely justified to kill the animal in self-defense, just like it would be justified to kill a human in self-defense. Yeah. So, this is like an easy way I like to put it. Like, in the case of animals, like slitting their throat, like farming them, slitting their throats, gassing them alive to turn them into cheeseburgers, we think that's wrong. But if we were to do the exact same thing to humans, or sorry, most people think that's okay, but if we were to do the exact same things to humans, we would see that as wrong. I see no morally relevant difference between humans and animals that would justify slitting animals' throats, but not humans. Do you have a morally relevant difference between the two that makes it okay in the animal case, but not the human? Is it because we're smarter? Like, what is it? What is that trait?
I mean, I understand your point. You've got a valid point, got a valid reason.
Okay, I appreciate that, dude.
But do you have a baseline? Like, even through atheist and agnostic belief,
if you're about to go down Christian precept route, I don't feel like talking about meta ethics or religion. I just want to talk about veganism.
I mean, what I'm saying is this has to stem from some type of belief.
Brandon would be a good person to talk about that, but I'm just here to talk about veganism. So if you want to talk about meta ethics or religion, that's fine. I'll do that with you. I have no problem. But this is just a vegan stream, so I don't want to bore people with non-vegan content.
This is still coming from this. You just got to listen to me. Let me talk. I'm being completely respectful. Listen you talk. You gotta let me talk here.
I know you are. I'm just saying I want to have a conversation about non-veganism, but that's fine. What's up, Bobby?
So pretty much all things are connected, even through agnostic belief. This is where I'm stopping with on that. So there is a balance in the world that if it goes unchecked, that even for animals, even for humans, that one will grow out of control and one will take over the other. So
So you're
if we
saying if we
don't
stop
kill
farming
animals,
animals, they'll take us over?
yes, I am saying that 100%.
So you're
It
saying
has been
cows,
proven
pigs, and
through
chickens
time.
will take us over if we stop farming them?
No, but the
Okay,
wildlife
so
and
that's what
the
I'm talking about. So what's
that's
your
what I'm talking.
justification
That's
for
exactly
farming
what I'm
animals and
talking
slitting
about.
their throats? Are you okay with doing it in the human context? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, if I was hungry enough and if I was put in a position, yes, I would eat a human. No
No, if you had the option to
problem.
just eat plants, would you find it ethical to farm and kill and eat humans like we do to animals when you could eat
Yeah,
plants instead?
yeah. If it came down to it,
No,
yeah.
not if it came down to it. In the current situation we're in, where we can live perfectly healthy off of plants, would you find it morally justified to farm and slit humans' throats to turn them into cheeseburgers, even though you could
Well,
eat plants instead?
in certain beliefs, I mean, it's
No, I'm
okay.
asking your beliefs. Do you think it
I've
would be morally
never,
justified to do that to
I've never
humans?
tasted a human yet.
What's
No,
that?
I've never tasted another human being. No.
I'm asking
Well,
you
I
if it would
take
be
that back.
morally justified to farm humans, slit their throats, and gas them alive for cheeseburgers.
I
Is that
mean,
morally justified? Yes or no? In your belief?
morally justified. Yes, correct.
It is? Okay. Well, if you don't believe in human rights, I can't talk you into animal rights. So we just have a fundamental disagreement. I think it is disgusting to farm humans, slit their throats, and gas them alive. We just have a fundamental disagreement. I can't talk to somebody about animal rights who doesn't believe in human rights. But I appreciate the consistency at least, I guess.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Brandon, what's up, bro? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, I'm good, bro. Just roasting Carnists, buddy.
Yeah,
You know how it is.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want to come up here and debate. I just wanted to say one thing, and I'll jump off your chat and let you do your thing. I just want to say, listen, I see all you people in the comments soying out, right? Just like get a better position, right? I don't care for the coping and seething, right? You're just mad because this man, right, is showing what your view entails, right? All right, that's it. All right, have
Brandon,
fun,
I
Hunter.
appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
I'll
Yeah,
be listening.
you know how the meat flakes are, bro. They cope pretty hard.
Yeah, I love
You
the
know,
I love the swing out.
logical consistency. Boo.
Yeah. All right, have fun, man.
All
I'll
right,
be
bud. I
listening.
appreciate it, man. Peace out. All right, sorry, King. That wasn't directed at you, boss. I hope you're doing okay. What's up,
All
buddy?
right. Quick question. So you are vegan.
Yes, sir, I am.
So if a case came out or a study coming out right now that
King, I'm so sorry, bud. My fiance just got here. I swear I'm gonna pick this up next time.
okay.
I'll tell you what. Get your question through. I'll answer it, and we'll leave it at that. And then I gotta go. Okay.
Okay, if a study came out right now that plants were sentient beings, trees, anything like that, what would you eat?
I would still eat plants directly because it would require less plants to be grown because the majority of plants are grown to feed the animals that we eat. For instance, a peer-reviewed study shows that it takes 13 kilograms of crops to make just 1 kilogram of meat. So we would actually be killing 13 times more plants just to eat animals. That would actually be even worse for the plants. So the most ethical thing we could do is still just to eat the plants directly because it would literally break the law of thermodynamics to say it doesn't require more plants to feed the animals that we eat to then eat them because 90% of energy is lost as you move up the food chain, which is why like another study by Joseph Poor shows we would require 75% less land if we were to move to a vegan diet because we would require less crops to then feed to our animals. But I just want to leave off with saying that's not the case. Plants aren't sentient. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system. But if they were, I'll answer the hypothetical in good faith. I would still eat them because it would require less plants than it would to feed the animals and then eat them.
Okay. I have
But
other
I'm
questions.
sorry,
but
bud. I really do gotta go. My fiance's here. We only have so much time we can hang out together. I'm really sorry. I'll pick it up with you next time. Okay. I hope you have a good